You look cute. Okay, it says we're live.
All right.
All right.
It should be all set.
All right, guys, we are live. Hi, everybody. It's Amanda here, your Kitty Carnage, for another episode on Channel Sundown. We're doing a live stream today. We are. You what? All right, guys, we are live. Hi, everybody.
It's the backlight.
Hold on. We got playback, y'all. We got playback.
Not again.
I still have this window open. Let me cut that off. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize that window was minimized in my corner, so let's start this again. Hi, everybody. It's Amanda here, your Kita Carnage, here on Channel Sundown. We are doing a live stream today, and we are doing a Horror on the Rocks episode. You guys see I have my trusty little Jason's mug. I have my Dr.
I got my Wall Street.
So,
Deadpool here.
Awesome. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead. We have two guests with you. You guys, of course, remember Brian Gatto from the Horror Show Entertainment, my buddy in crime. Say hi, Brian.
Sup?
Good deal. And also we have with us for the first time, we have PMNR Bones 88, and that is my good friend Philip. Everybody say hi.
Hey, guys.
All right, good deal. Well, today's discussion, we are going to be going ahead and talking about a film that I saw during a screening, first screening of Strangers 2. It's not what it's called, but it's the second Strangers film, Pray at Night. And we have a lot to say about this film. Needless to say, it's been out for a while. I saw it a while ago, and I still have a lot to say about it. So I'm going to go ahead and knock it off over here to Brian to go ahead and explain the synopsis of this film. Go ahead, Brian.
Okay, so basically the film is about a family of four who go to a trailer park, and this weird girl comes up to the door, asks if Tamara's home, and then weird shit goes down from there. Like, everything goes crazy. I'm not reading a real synopsis. I'm just giving it off of what I can remember, but I won't go any further than that because I don't want to spoil too much just yet. But it's basically The Strangers times 2 because there's 4 characters instead of 2.
And it was the director, am I correct, of 47 Meters Down?
Yes, Johannes Roberts, who's also directed Roadkill, Storage 24, The Other Side of the Door, and the upcoming 48 Meters Down, which is the sequel to 47 Meters Down.
Is that the technical, is that the real title of the film?
Yes.
Never really heard that.
Clever.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, I never heard that either.
I wonder if I could find that on Netflix.
I know, right? I wonder if you can find it on Netflix. You probably can. It's going to have a big distribution. I know that it is, but maybe they might do a whole sci-fi version of it. I don't know.
Yeah, but he also directed a film, I believe it's called Hellbreeder, and another one called Forest of the Damned, which are 2 older movies of his. He's also a British director, and it was pretty interesting, I thought, because Storage 24 was made in England, I believe.
I remember Storage 24. That actually, I think, is available on Netflix right now, if I'm correct.
I'm checking it out.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a Netflix.
You don't have it? Yes, you do. You don't have a Netflix, Brian?
I have a Netflix behind me.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna have to message you my freaking password so you can get on top of this. All right, Brian. So who do we have watching right now?
We have Dino from the Late Late Horror Show.
Hey, Dino, our buddy in crime. What's up, buddy?
And he says, an OCD horror is here. He says, spoiler alert, Tamara is still not home.
Oh my goodness. OCD, I sent you, I'm looking at it right now. I sent you the link. Why did you not take it? Let me send it again since he disappeared. I called you today, but let me go ahead and resend this again to you. All right, let me go ahead and paste it right.
We also have Ben Grimm. He asks, is 47 Meters Down worth watching? I'd say yes, but it's not as good as The Shallows, in my opinion. And we have Jeff Floyd saying, hey, everybody.
Hey, Jeff. What's up, buddy? Wow, we have a good group of people today. Really excited about this.
We have 4 people watching so far.
You what?
We have 4 people watching so far.
Yeah, 4 people. Yeah, we are so popular right now. But hey, that's not so much to me. But what were you
It's
guys
better than
saying?
no
I'm
people.
sorry, Philip. What were you guys saying?
Yeah, what were we saying before?
Oh, the fact that I was born in England?
Yes, my girl is born from England.
Oh, that's cool. I'm from Korea, so
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, that's not a joke either. I'm actually from Korea.
I don't doubt it.
Everything to me is sarcastic when I say that, but I'm from Korea. So, anyways, yeah. So, I guess we're gonna go ahead and jump into. I'm gonna go ahead and go off what you were saying about the story. Basically, you have this family. It's made up of 2 teenagers and 2 parents, and they go to this trailer park area to visit family because the youngest daughter is actually getting sent away for boarding school for some mishaps and being a little troublemaker, I'm guessing. And it kind of goes from there. They show up to the trailer park. You know, the people that they find aren't there, and it's secluded. It's kind of a vacation area, and they go, and yeah, spoiler alert, Tamara's not home. You know, the whole the door, you know, hey, it's Tamara there, et cetera, et cetera. You know how the first one went, you know how the second one went. So I'm going to go ahead. We'll start from here. I'm going to jump into the story. What we do is I'm going to go ahead and go over the points that we discussed during reviews. We first go on the story, then we go on the acting, the gore, the visuals of the film, as well as an overall opinion of the film. And then lastly, we're going to say whether or not we think it's sequel worthy. Yeah.
And can I add one more topic to that? And that's the music for this film.
Yes. You know what? That deserves its own topic itself. And I'll tell you why, because the music in it is fantastic. The music is fantastic. It's very 80s galore, and I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. So let's go ahead and jump into the acting. It stars Bailey. What was her name? I just had it up. It was the little girl that was in. If you ever heard of Guillermo del Toro's film, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
Yes.
I've heard about that.
Yes, it stars Guy Pearce, Katie Holmes, and let's see real quick. I just gotta get my notes.
Christina Hendricks.
Christina Hendricks from Mad Men's in it. She was from Mad Men. We have
Lewis Pullman. Sorry, I'm not going to interrupt.
No, you're fine. What was the little girl's name? She's Bailey, and I trying to remember her last name.
Oh, Madison.
Bailey Madison. There you go, Bailey Madison. I wanted to kind of target her first because it's funny because when I went to go see the screening in Phoenix when I was down there to see the horror show, we went and saw the film, and my friend Fuego was posted that he saw it, and Bailey Madison actually tweeted him back and said, "So, what did you think?" And we were kind of like,
oh boy.
Uh-oh.
What do we say? I don't know what to say. So I don't know what he ended up saying, but we thought that was pretty funny. But the acting, I am going to say the acting was very, it was very overdone. I think acting was very overdone. And I think that, hold on a second. There's some feedback coming on, y'all, guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and mute you just for a second, okay? Because I'm hearing an echo on you. But I'm mute you in just a second, okay, Philip? Just a second. I'm feeling some feedback. Hold on a second. There we go. Because I'm hearing myself echo. So, anyways. So, and it's very distracting. It's hard for me to talk when I hear an echo. So they take the acting, which at first, you know, I'm kind of like into it and everything, but they go way overboard. It's very, mind you, it's been a couple weeks since I've seen it, so maybe it's just playing more in my head now as an afterthought. But there were scenes, like the death scenes and the scene of the car incident that with the man gets impelled by that pole thing. And they're like, it's going to be okay. And he's like, God, everything's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Like, it's totally overdone. That was my opinion. I didn't find any of it believable. And I hate to say it because so many people love the acting in this film, but I just thought it was tacky. I thought it was tacky and overdone and overacted. So that was my opinion. What was your opinion, Brian?
I feel the acting was a little hammy at parts, but overall it was passable. The scenes where the brother and sister interact were really genuine, I felt. And the mother and father, when they have their little moment together, it feels genuine as well. But when the one thing that I didn't really like was when their daughter, played by Bailey Madison, was screaming. She had like a loop scream, like she kept on screaming the same way over and over again.
Yes, I noticed that too. Honestly, they had that. What's that? What is it called? The scream.
The loop scream.
That
The Wilhelm scream.
Yes. I thought I heard that a couple times in the film, or am I just wrong? Maybe.
I didn't hear. Maybe that was after the screening. They deleted them. Hopefully.
I don't know, but I swear I heard that scream. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, "Damn it! Like, why they gotta go and do that?" Like,
but also,
until I heard that scream, and I was like, "No."
Also, are we doing spoilers now? Or?
Yes, we are. This is a spoiler discussion, everybody. We are doing a spoiler discussion of Strangers 2.
All right. So when there's a part in the movie where she takes off the masks of one of the killers, and she asks, "Why are you doing this?" And it's not because you were home. It's because why not?
Exactly.
And I thought that was pretty creepy.
The best acting was the killers, honestly.
Yeah. I'm just reading the comments real quick. Amanda, you liked it though, right? Asks Jeff.
I don't know, honestly. There's parts that I do like that I will get to, but honestly, I don't know how I feel about it. I guess towards the end, I can kind of wrap it up in a pretty little bow. But right now, I really can't really say if I like it or not. Yeah, I don't really know how to answer that right now, but as you can tell, I'm really not, I wouldn't say I hate it, but I'm not impressed. It is not an impressive film, in my point, but I would get more into that in a little bit. When you were talking about the acting, Brian, and you were talking about the killers and stuff, did you agree with me to say that the killers were actually better actors than...
Well, from what we see of the little girl killer, like the younger girl killer, we don't see her that much actually. And I think the one that has the most presence is I think it's the wife killer.
Yeah, I don't really know, and that's what I'm gonna get at my ending. I have a big like conspiracy theory that I have with the film.
And
I went in and that's okay. Did you hear that, Philip? I have a conspiracy theory. Yes. Hold on, let me just for a second. So you can hear this, because I just don't know why I keep hearing a feedback for you. Hold on. Maybe
because they don't have headphones in.
Okay, can you hear me now? Oh no, they're still muted. Hold on.
Yeah, they're still muted.
Well, I'm trying to unmute them.
Yeah.
But they're still muted. Huh, that's weird.
I think all you have to do is click on the icon on the thing.
I did. They're still muted.
I
don't know why.
Maybe they muted their microphone.
Guys, look to see if you muted yourself on your thing where it shows on the bottom where it shows the icon. Click on your icon.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Yeah, I think you accidentally muted yourself. Don't worry about that. Whenever I hear a feedback, I'll mute it just for a moment and then unmute it, because it only happens in little spur moments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Yeah, I don't know what the feedback is for, but yeah, I have a conspiracy theory about this film, and I just wanted y'all to know about that. So prepared to hear some like chalkboard shit going on.
nails on a chalkboard.
No, I'm gonna have a big board. I'm gonna have my magic marker, and I'm just gonna be like, and this happened, and then this happened.
It all connects.
Yeah, I'm be like, y'all get this shit. Anyways, yeah. So back to the acting. I guess that's gonna sum it up right there. I don't know that if the acting was as believable as I thought it should be. What I loved about the first film is it was very it wasn't overdone. It was very
like realistic. Yeah.
Like it had ups and downs.
Yes.
Yeah, one part I did like though was where she was trying to reach for her mom.
Yes.
Yes.
And she was calling her mommy and stuff, like she was reverting back to her instincts. That was pretty hard.
Yeah, that was pretty hard in that scene when I saw it in the theater. There were points of the film, like I said, in Strangers 2 that did kind of get me, the scenes, like I said, the scenes with the brother and the sister, that dynamic between them was very, very charming. And that one scene with the mom in the bathroom getting stabbed while she was pushing her daughter out and reaching out, and she was crying and saying mommy and stuff and seeing her mom getting cut up. That was pretty hard to watch.
Yeah, I actually saw this movie with my mom, and I turned to her and she was like,
Oh no.
Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, I was with a friend, my friend from the horror show, Fuego, and I was sitting there and I was like, I don't like it. No, I don't like it at all. But anyway,
hey, the dog lives.
Yeah, right? Well, that's always a great thing. So yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and go to the next topic.
As long as the animal lives.
Well, because the babies can't. So they always kill the babies in the movies, but they always make the dog live. I always think that's screwy in a situation. But anyways, I guess do we have any other comments, Brian?
Not really, other than yeah, I think the acting was passable, but it could have been better.
Yeah. So I guess we'll go to the next point, which is the of course the best one, and that is we're going to talk about the gore of this film.
Yeah.
I
mean,
film is very.
I think the acting was passable.
There we go.
Somebody joined in.
There we go. So I guess we'll go to the next point, which is the feedback. Somebody's watching me. Talk about the gore of this film. Somebody's watching me because I hear myself. The film is very. Real quick. All right. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go into the gore right now, and the gore is a lot more. Very, very there. We're just gonna say it's very present in this film versus the first one. Whether that be, hold on a second, let me unmute him real quick. Hey, Fuego, let me unmute you real quick. Just mute you for a second.
Oh, not again.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, it's fine. I just need him to unmute himself.
Yeah.
Fuego, I need you to go ahead and unmute yourself. There you go.
I'm muted. I don't have tons of time because I'm trying to get this Stephen King episode up, but I wanted to jump on and chime in a little bit since we saw this film together. So.
All right, good deal. Well, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the gore. We already talked about the acting in the story. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the gore. The gore is very different versus the first one. The gore in this film, although, I am a huge fan of gore, I feel like maybe it was just a tiny bit overplaced, overdone, just a tiny bit. The scene with the grandparents just being basically skinned. I'm thinking they were skinned. If I remember correctly, Fuego, weren't they skinned? Or something of that sort?
I don't think they were skinned. They just looked very obviously dead. I think the biggest thing that you have to realize about the two different films here is that we're talking about a straight-up slasher film versus a home invasion film. A home invasion film where they toyed with them throughout the entirety of the movie, whereas this was straight-up slasher. This was a different kind of movie, in my opinion, which is why I probably liked it more. The first Strangers was pretty passable for me, I mean, yeah, and I mean the ending and the fact that spoilers, they just killed them and they're like, oh, because you were home and that. But aside from that, I felt like the fact that, I mean, Dennis from Sunnydelphia gets killed and stuff, but there wasn't a high body.
Yeah, he fucking no, but you know what? I appreciate that point, but you also have to look at it this way. These are and this kind of gets to my whole theory at the end that I'm gonna talk about, because I have a whole theory about this film.
Oh boy.
And why it was made the way it was and why it was so different from the first one. I have this complex thing that I really sat down and I thought about, but what makes me mad is these killers, okay, are these three people, and they have a method of they have their own method of killing. And I feel like this second film, although you say it's a home invasion film versus a slasher film, they still have the same tendencies. You can't have a serial killer and have them change their, I guess, their patterns and their, the ways of them conducting, their mayhem, I guess, within different circumstances. They have a certain way of having things done. So I feel like they weren't on the same link as the story went, if that makes any sense to anybody. I just feel like they're two different movies, two different killers. So
I think that when they were messing with the couple in the first movie, they were more in the background and messing with them, like they didn't know for sure. Well, half the time, like hence they shot their friend. So they didn't always know where they were. This one, they're more up front, like I'm right here with the knife. I'm gonna mess with you still though, and that's it's more bold, I should say.
Like in the first movie, it was more like, hiding, but the second movie, they're just there.
Yeah, they're like out of nowhere. So the first one's just about hiding. The second film, this place.
They're full on there, like they're like, "What's up?"
Yeah, basically, yeah. And so just that, that aspect of it, and that's different for different people, because like I am a huge fan of the first film. I'm a huge fan of the first film. I love it. You guys know I don't have the Scream Factory version, but y'all know
Nice.
No, you don't, but I do.
Yeah.
I own that version too. I own that version
Okay, Rod. Guys, say goodnight to Brian. Here tonight. I love you so much. Good night. No, I'm joking. No. She's like, and Brian out.
At the end of the first movie, they introduced the family.
You what? I'm sorry, honey.
Like at the end of the first movie, I remember the truck, and they showed the family in it, and that's what made me wonder: was there going to be a sequel?
Well, and that's the thing too, and that's going to be one of our categories towards the end. Like we said, with the acting and stuff like that, and the gore, with in itself, I understand, and it's hard for me to say that something's too. When I say something's too much, I don't mean in the spectrum of just like it being too much, like too much blood. I just feel like within the story, it didn't fit within the killer. So that's what I kind of mean. It didn't fit with the killer. Kind of like, for example, you watch a Friday the 13th film.
Oh, okay.
Man. And you have Jason going around and just killing people brutally, and then you have a room where somebody got shot in the head. You're going to be like, that's not, Jason didn't do that.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
No. That's not exactly. And that's what I'm getting at with the sequel to Strangers, is it seemed like it was very not like the killers, if that makes sense. So that's what I was getting at when I meant was too much. Brian, what was your opinion? What was your opinion on the gore?
I think it was fitting, but there was one part where I was like, that's a little over the top, where the father got stabbed through the stomach and you could see his guts hanging out. I'm like, okay, so we're going from minor stabbings and little bloodshed in the first film to full-on guts hanging out. It's a transition that's pretty big, but
well, that's why I said it was a totally different approach to the filmmaking. It's a different director. I mean, Bertino co-wrote this one. He didn't direct it. And I know it's not gore necessarily, but that everybody has talked about it, including myself when I did my solo review for the horror show like a few days before this came out after the press screening. But how can you not mention the pool scene? The pool scene is
that's
beautifully lit.
That's our next topic.
But the blood though, the blood spreading through the water and stuff is one of the most beautiful attack. Like just it's amazing.
And also, people like slashers can they can change their tactics. I mean, especially for cover-up reasons.
Well, like what you were saying about the whole scene where that pool goes in it, I had no problem with that scene because that was gore within, he got a car wreck. That had nothing really to do with the action of the killer.
Right. I was talking about
that didn't really affect me as much as like going and seeing the grandparents, just taking over and stuff like that. That didn't really affect me as much. And yay, we have Chase here. Calmed in, but like that just didn't feel within the character and stuff. And guys, there's my buddy OCD. What's up, Chase?
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm gonna go ahead and say something about Chase. Me and Chase have talked about the film for hours. We sat down and we went nitty gritty. So I'm gonna tell you guys, he knows my conspiracy theory for this film in detail, and he's like, I get, and I really think that's why he tuned in, because he's like, I want to see everybody think this bitch is crazy.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Exactly it. Yes.
Before we get to that, I thought so when killers, when they're trying to cover up, do you think they would change their tactics just to be different? Not because the directors are different, but because the killers are now doing something different to cover themselves up from the authorities and get away with more?
That actually, bring that up towards after we get over this subject right here. Bring that back up, Brian, because that has a lot to do with my theory.
All right.
My conspiracy theory. I'm gonna have to get my drawing board out in a minute so I can all this shit. So our next thing, our next topic is going to be, of course, the visuals. Although who was not much of a fan with the acting, of course, and of course I have my nitpicks of the gore, the film was beautiful. I thought the film was beautiful. And that's so hard to say a film was beautiful because it was a slasher film, but I saw a lot of just subtle, how do I put it, just subtleties, if that makes sense. It was very
artsy.
No, I wouldn't even say artsy, and that's the thing about it. It wasn't artsy. It was just
visually
very
stunning,
subtle, and very like the pool scene, for example. The pool scene, the brother swimming away and the killer just stabbing him and that blood just drawing out and that song playing. I remember going and seeing this film and I literally was nudging Fuego going, this is such a pretty scene. Like, this scene is beautiful. And Fuego was just like, eat your sweet tarts and shut up. I'm trying to watch this. Anyways, no, but like Fuego, go ahead and get into that of the visuals. I mean, you above anybody even said it was beautifully done. Like, you just appreciated a lot of that.
Yeah, even if I had a ton of problems with the script of this movie, I can't take away from the fact that Johannes Roberts makes good-looking movies. I didn't really like 47 Meters Down, but it looked really good. It was shot very well. I would say the same thing about The Other Side of the Door, that shit with the girl from The Walking Dead. I didn't have as much of a problem with that movie as I had with stuff like, you know, The Darkness that year with Kevin Bacon and a few others. I mean, The Boy. There were far worse horror movies that came out that year. Johannes Roberts has a visual style that is appealing to me. I just wish he could get better scripts to put to screen because, you know, this was another one that I had a lot of problems with. But when it worked, i.e. the pool scene worked. Some of the chase scenes at the end worked. It was well shot. So
I'm going to go ahead and ask you too, because I'm about to ask Chase's question too. We already talked about the story and the acting. Or I was talking earlier about how I felt the story was very how do I say? I want to say, I hate to say cliche because it really wasn't cliche, but it didn't.
Oh, no, it was. It was cliche.
I mean, but cliche isn't always bad, though. Cliche isn't always bad. I just felt like there was so much more that could have been done with that. as well as the acting. I felt like, I'm just going to recap a little bit, just in a nutshell. I'm just saying I felt the acting was very overdone in places versus the first film, and it's really kind of unfair. It's very unfair for me to compare it to another film. Had it been like, okay, the best way I can put it is if it was a sequel to like a creature feature, I could be more forgiving, as well as just having an aspect of a group of serial killers that do something and it being so different. So that being said, Hameen, for the acting, what did you feel about the acting? How did that hit you?
It was over the top too often for me. But, you know, I didn't think Hendrix was bad. She's ill-used and so on. You know, Bailey Madison was good at times. I'm going to agree with Brian that I liked her and the brothers' chemistry in certain instances. And more so than anything, it wasn't the characters acting that I had a problem with. It was the motivations the script gave them and the stupid shit that they did throughout the movie.
You know what? That's fair. That is fair. You know what? I'm going to retract the acting, because the acting was great, but you're right. The material wasn't great. So, okay, I'm going to take back what I said about the overacting, because the acting was on spot for what it was.
It was what they had them saying, you know, what you referenced earlier, where they're like, it's going to be okay. No, it's not going to be okay. And to just like really just as like basic bitch type dialogue, it was really...
Basic bitch.
Really terrible at times, you know.
I just say Tommy and say basic bitch.
I feel the only smart character was Bailey Madison's character, to be honest.
Well,
like she was the one who wanted to take the gun from the brother and shoot the stranger, but he wouldn't give it to her. She shot the stranger and then made sure she was dead.
Yeah, and see, and that's the thing too. You hit the nail on the head right there. And I'm sorry, like, guys, I don't have my headphones in. My headphones aren't working right now. So if I kind of cut you off in a split second, I apologize, because I feel like sometimes I have a little lag. So I'm not trying to be rude. You guys know I'm Miss Amanda. I like to talk over people. So I'm just apologizing ahead of time. So I don't mean to like kind of go. But Brian, like you were saying with the whole Bailey Madison thing of her not being able to kill, or her brother not being able to kill one of the killers, and then her being able to do that, do you think that had a effect so much on the story? Like, do you think that was a believable situation? And the only reason I'm asking you that is because I'm going to come back to that later. Do you think that her as a character could have easily killed that person?
Well, I think it comes down to personality. Her brother was kind of the clean-cut kid who probably didn't do much in the way of terms of violence, and his sister Bailey Madison was the troublemaker, so she always had this mean streak, you know. So I think she could have done it if she had the gun and she was motivated enough to do it.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and run over here to Chase real quick, because I would love to hear Chase, even though I know what he's going to say. I know what he's going to say, but I see him over there giving that shitting grin over there.
I was just talking over her being a troublemaker.
Yes. Sweetheart, is your time to shine, because I know you got. By the way, guys, his comments on this film are hilarious. I like my note.
I like this movie. I thought it was good.
Yes, but you had a few comments about a few scenes, but we're gonna get into that. We're gonna
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes,
Amanda,
I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring it up real quick. So
I think to be fair, most of the people I know who enjoyed this movie, I liked this movie. I still had problems with it.
I didn't like the first one, so
I didn't either.
All right,
me neither. I did not like the first one.
Hey, I would like to hear your opinion on the story.
The story?
Just the story itself. Did you feel like it was too cliche? Just
which part? I like the overall premise of it being set in a trailer park, and gives them much more room to play. I always thought there should be a slasher set in a trailer park, and this pretty much was a slasher. It wasn't home invasion or anything. So yeah, I like the story. As far as the characters, no.
That's what I'm waiting for. That whole shit that you said about like you're like the only person I liked was. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
I really like which I knew whenever I saw the movie, but now I don't. I really like the brother. I knew his character's name in the movie. Now I've already forgotten it. But
Luke or something.
Yeah, Luke. That's it.
Luke, yes.
Okay.
I keep wanting to say Greg in my head.
I'm old Greg.
Yeah, I really liked him a lot. Bailey Madison, her character made me laugh because she's wearing her perfect Ramones shirt, perfectly off the shoulder. It's like, girl, you know Blitzkrieg Bop, and maybe Sheena is a punk rocker, and that's it.
I know.
And maybe Pet Cemetery, to be fair.
And I Want to Be Sedated because it's super popular. But
Chase, when we were talking, it made me cry so hard because you said this is how you said it. You said, Amanda, I really did like the movie, but Bailey Madison made me laugh because she had her Ramones shirt, oh so right, and she was smoking that cigarette, oh so perfectly. And I was like, oh, okay.
Although, according to her brother, she was smoking it wrong.
Well, yeah, but it was just, I guess he had to be there. The way he said it was so fucking on point that I just lost it. I never thought about it. And
honestly, there were those few funny scenes where, like, she's smoking the cigarette and, like, she shares it with the mom. The mom's like, give me that. And then the brother's like, give me that, and throws it down and stuff. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Well, anyways, guys, let's go ahead and say hi to my co-host, Matty McCobb. He just got off work and he's here.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello,
what's
sir.
going on? Do we hear me?
Hi. Yes, we can hear you,
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome.
All right, good deal. So let's go ahead and let's get to the next one. And this is going to be, I was going to do overall, but.
No, it has to be music, Amanda.
No, it's in. All right, Fly Guy. You want to take control of this right now?
We were going to talk about music.
So I was going to do an overall opinion, but for my friend here, Brian, you know, my best buddy over here, he said we had to talk about the music, and I totally agree with that. The music in this film was just amazing. And I know Fuego has something to say about this because he has a new favorite song because of this film. I know, because as soon as we saw it, he was like, I have to listen to Air Supply.
Yeah. Out of nothing at all. Out of nothing at all.
Like, oh my God.
I love that song, man. I've never heard that song
yes,
before.
I was like,
Only about 30 years too late.
That was the first time you heard Air Supply?
No, I'd heard Air Supply before. I mean, come on, I'm all out
No,
of
I mean
love,
that
so-
song.
I'd never heard that song. And that was a song written by the same dude who wrote Total Eclipse of the Heart, who wrote, lots of pop hits. He wrote with Meatloaf on Bat Out of Hell and stuff. So,
the story behind how we saw the film actually is because I came down to be on the horror show, and Fuego was like, hey, do you want to go and see this movie with me? I got these press screening passes. So we went to show up, and unfortunately, Cecil couldn't make it. He had to work and stuff, unfortunately. But so me and him were there. We went and saw it and everything. But we were this close. We didn't think we were going to be able to make it. Isn't that right, Fuego?
Last part I didn't hear. Sorry.
Oh, I was saying that, like, I talked about you inviting me after you getting the press passes and everything. Mm-hmm. And you were like, there was a really close second there. We thought we weren't going to be able to see the film.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were going to sit in general instead of press, so we still would have got in. But
yeah. But we
would have had to sit with the
I
peasants.
know.
I know. That's so basic. That is so basic. Like, anyways, yeah, so we'll go ahead, and I'm going to start with Brian here. Brian would love to talk about the music. Brian, 80s galore, buddy. Let's talk about it.
I can't believe that. I think you're alone. I think we're alone. I wasn't actually in the movie, but it was in the trailer.
That's what I was upset about, Brian. Honestly, I even messaged that to Fuego. I was like, I was waiting for.
I was a little sad about that too.
Yeah, it's a lot more to license it for a film though than it is for just a trailer. So that's probably why.
Honey, Tiffany could use the money. So
Right.
Well, I'm sure she could use the money, but it doesn't mean the people behind the movie had the money to give. So, I mean, come
That
on.
actually brings up the point that Johannes Roberts, most of his films cost around $5 million to make. Like
Yeah, I
2
know.
Meters Down, The Other Side of the Door, Strangers 2, they all cost $5 million.
well, honey, Tiffany was in Playboy and she got dumped by
Yeah, she was.
New Kids on the Block because he was gay. Honey could use a couple dollars.
What?
None of the new kids on the blocks are gay.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew it!
Yes. No.
No.
Yeah.
I knew it!
Yes.
I think
Wow.
Tiffany is okay. They made a whole documentary on Tiffany still having super fans, and
Oh, I saw
yeah,
that.
so
That's the documentary.
okay.
Guys. I think we're alone now. That documentary about the guy with autism. I love that documentary.
Mm,
That's a good one. But I'm
So
sorry,
this-
Brian. I didn't mean to interrupt
I'm
you.
no offense.
Go ahead and talk about the music, sweetie.
So besides all the great 80s songs, the soundtrack, the motion picture soundtrack was really good too. Especially when the title came up and it was like an 80s font with a swirling red background and the music started kicking up. I was like, this is gonna be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was very Carpenter synthy kind of, 80s approach, which only enhanced just that throwback feel, which some people have argued is kind of a cliche at this point, and perhaps it is, but
Yeah, but
it doesn't mean I still don't eat it up when I hear it. I mean,
Right.
whether it's, Kung Fury or, I mean, shit. I listen to so much Mega Drive, Dance with the Dead, this hard, dark synth type shit. I love it, so I don't know.
and I swear if Super 8 came out in this time period, it would have made millions and millions of dollars. But since it came out like 10 years or a few years too early, no one really went to go see it.
Underrated. I actually really like that movie.
Yeah, I like a different topic though, but still, it should have come out sooner. I mean, like recently.
Well, it was ahead of its
We're talking
time.
about all these
Yeah,
great
it was,
bands I
yes.
listen to. And I'm over here like, yeah, I listen to the Spice Girls and
Spice
So,
Girl!
girl.
Spice Girls. Yeah.
Little
Yeah,
Dicky. I love
I
that.
remember listening to Spice Girls. telling
Way
me that-
off topic. Way off topic, but when I had Amanda's car for a week, all I did was listen to the Frozen soundtrack. So
Ah,
it's okay.
no.
Oh, God.
I left it in the car.
Oh god.
Look at all-
It's probably still in your
Look at
CD
all.
player.
Let it go.
Oh,
Let it go.
Oh, yeah, Matt.
Could you help me hide a body?
Yeah.
Matt, off
Yeah.
topic. Did I leave my Wicked and my Lion King soundtrack in there?
No,
Oh.
no, because I look.
Oh. He was like, bitch got Frozen. What other magical characters do we have in this bitch?
We have like,
Yeah,
like
can't
I love
wait
Frozen,
till Michael
guys. You guys don't know that this is my horror stuff, but if you go behind you, it's all Disney. All Disney.
Yes.
Like for example,
Disney,
Oh, boy.
Tim Burton's Buffy.
Yeah.
I can see it all.
What have we
Kids
done?
Yeah. You open Pandora's box.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I've always felt like Pandora should not be
Every
put
whole
inside a
collection, two at a
box.
time.
Animal.
Oh, cool.
woman.
Yes, I remember that.
Oh,
Woman,
Okay,
woman.
one more. Hold on.
And this animal was
Oh,
really
boy.
horny.
Oh, boy.
Oh, behave.
It's every
Oh,
dog in every
oh.
Disney movie. It's
Oh,
every
my
dog in every
God.
Look at that.
The
What if they make a
animal.
new movie with the dog in it?
All the Disney dogs.
Yes,
The
and
Muppet
Oliver,
Prince.
Oliver for Oliver and Company. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oliver Company, Lady and the Tramp, 101 Dalmatians.
Oh,
It's like everything she has.
I'm jealous.
You guys, this is horror, but on the other side, it's all Disney. I have a very different. So, anyways, yeah, back on topic, guys. For the music, Chase, how did you feel about the whole pop aspects of the music in the film? Do you think it worked? Did it work?
It definitely worked. It added levity to it, which has helped for it to be the silly slasher that it was.
Okay, that
Yeah.
works.
I
Bronny.
mean, I would have definitely
Oh, okay.
just licensed. I mean, it really wouldn't have been too much to license Tiffany.
No.
If you have Bonnie Tyler, who is still, she may not be huge here, but she's gigantic in the UK. Still, so I mean, she's considered an icon. So if you can license her,
Yeah.
you can
I need a
license
hero.
Tiffany. Yeah, you can.
Or maybe they could only afford to license one or the other.
Yeah.
If you can license it for the trailer, you can license it for the friggin' movie.
Yeah.
It costs a lot more
But you know-
trailers than feature film, so I heard.
That's not true.
Well, that's what I heard
Not
because
true.
meaning that because when you're filming well anyways, I heard it's because of different anyways.
Not with cable, like cable replay for films and syndication and things of that nature. I mean, people don't continue watching trailers over time the way they do features for home video licensing and all these different things and VOD. So yeah, it's a lot more to license it for a film.
Okay.
Just to clarify.
In my thoughts on the music, I thought the choice of having the 80s ballads and stuff was a nice touch for the killers to kind of soundtrack their kills. It made it kind of like whenever women have their girls' night out or whatever. And if you hear, like, if you're in a car full of women and Total Eclipse of the Heart comes on, everyone's going to sing it. So for that to be kind of like the killers' night out of just party and kill some people.
Yeah.
That's a good way of looking at it, Chase. That is pretty awesome. And actually, what you just said, remember what you just said, because that is going to pinpoint into the next topic that we're going to talk about. So remember that point. But I have a little point that I want to make about the music is I love it when a film, and let me click on yourself real quick. I love it when a film has just happy, I know it sounds weird, but just like happy music in a much darker situation. Like my dream, like scary moment would be Mamas and the Papas, dedicated to the one I love. Although that song is very happy, I think like in a certain scene, that song could be just traumatic. Just like, for example, Tiny Tim in the Tulips, Tiny Tim, you know, people used to listen to that, and it was very a very happy song, but then it turned into something so demonic and so just like, for example, you know, Easy Street. And if
it feels so neat. Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know lyrics, but yeah. So that's a perfect example. Awesome, good deal. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and go into our next one, which is going to be sequel. So, do you guys think this film will spawn a sequel?
Well, I would hope so.
I don't know if it made enough to, but I'd like to see it.
Well, let me go ahead and go with Matt here.
I feel like at this point, a prequel would be the better bet. Like, well, you killed off all your characters. You killed off all your characters.
Spoiler.
Oh, come on. We're talking about the movie. Yes. Was this a non-spoiler discussion?
Okay.
No, it's spoiler.
No, we're doing a spoiler discussion. Hold on. Hey, guys. Philip, go ahead and unmute you.
You can disagree with me if you want to, Chase. I
Yeah,
know
here
you
you go,
do.
honey.
We can talk about it in a second.
I was just.
I think that's a prequel.
Philip to
I feel like more it was like a prequel. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly maybe like a beginning, like how it all began, and maybe we could get to see the killer's face. Possibly maybe we could find out where this all happened, why they start killing.
They show the killer's face, though. You mean like a more of a story without the killer?
Give us a little more about who they are and why they do what they do.
Well, I mean, start.
Well,
Like how it all.
Your face. Tell your honey pie to get on camera. We can't.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm smoking a cigarette, guys.
Oh, you're good.
Well, much like Alien, it means more than one thing. So, like with the strangers, you could have different strangers. It doesn't have to be the same strangers every time.
It's true.
Maybe.
I can see that, but I'm more invested in the ones that I've already gotten to know. Like I've seen, I want to see more about them.
You see, one thing that a lot of people have argued about this franchise and about others is where when we get a villain backstory or a killer backstory, something like that, sometimes it takes away from a bit of just the meaningless madness. And that seems to me to be the essence of these killers, is the fact that they're like, they don't really have much motivation. They're just completely insane, and so they're like, oh, because you were home. Why not? It's just simple to that aspect.
And I get that.
That's even more frightening when there's no real legitimate deep motivation. It's just like, wow, they're just genuinely crazy.
But even if it's, even in a prequel setting, if we just see this happen again, or if we see maybe the first time, we don't know that Liv Tyler was the first time they did it. Like, I wouldn't mind going back and seeing them again.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think at this point that's what they'd have to do.
You know what
It was made possible that Liv Tyler's case was the first one, because at the end they said next time it'll be easier.
Oh yeah. Well, guys, that's the perfect segue to my next point. Before I get into my conspiracy theory and get my piece of paper out and draw this out for y'all, because y'all are really gonna have a lot to say about this. Y'all can call me crazy. I don't care. I've been tested. What comments do we have going on right now? Brian, what do we see what we got going on here before I start to make myself look like an insane person?
Oh, everyone's just saying how awesome I am and stuff.
Oh, really? Really, Brian? Really, Brian? Really, Brian? Hey, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, they're all saying Chase and Matt need to have the chance to talk more. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
not what they're saying.
No one has said that.
Hey, who's here?
I'll see you. I'll see you. Matt, do you want to say anything else, honey, since I haven't let you talk?
I do want to talk about, I don't know if it has because I got on late. I wanted to talk about the use of color.
Okay, go ahead.
Especially in the pool scene.
Yeah.
It's just, it's on so many different levels and it means so many emotions, like the colors match up to what's going on and it's really appropriate and it's done very beautifully. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. That's cool. So,
that's
were there any other scenes that kind of made it jump out at you?
I enjoyed all of the scenes.
Okay.
No.
I just wanted to say that the movie does have a very thick layer of fog over the whole thing. Like every scene, there's mist in the air or fog, and it looks very nice, but it kind of becomes redundant at times. Like we're outside, there has to be fog or mist.
Well, I mean, if you establish it in an earlier shot, then mist just doesn't go away.
Yeah, but this was supposed to be over the whole night,
Yeah. Well, maybe it was just really bad weather.
It's a possibility.
Chase, do you have any other points that you want to make on the film before we y'all have some? Because I know I'm gonna let y'all have comments on my conspiracy theory.
Actually, I would like to ask a question. What were all the homages you guys picked up?
Oh, I got one. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, that's the only one. That's all I picked up. But I heard
honestly,
there were
for
others.
the Hospital Halloween 2 little knock kind of thing. That was one.
Oh, really?
Knock. I took because we had Texas Chainsaw Massacre where she jumped in the back of the truck and drove away. I was like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I had another nod to I don't remember you guys remember this film, but Peep and Tom.
Yeah,
I heard of that one. It's Alfred Hitchcock, right?
Yeah.
Which part?
I think I remember
It's
it.
not Hitchcock.
Remember when you're standing in the room and you see the camera kind of come up behind her, and she turns around, and then they're gone. That was another Peeping Tom. Except for without the camera. It was the exact scene. But it was the first death scene in Peeping Tom.
Well, they did it well because I just watched Peeping Tom a few months ago and it didn't click in my head. Oh, Peeping Tom. So
I did because I rewatched it for our little countdown that we did.
And Bones.
You what?
Bones is about to leave, I think.
Oh, I didn't. Oh. I just heard him talking, and I was getting feedback. So hold on, let me. Bones, unmute your stuff real quick because I can't hear you, honey. I was muted.
He's trying to say goodbye, I think.
Yeah,
oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, we're heading on out now.
Okay.
But are you guys still gonna be online?
Yeah, we'll still
when
be.
When I get home, or will you guys be gone?
Well, you just log on, hon. If we're still here, we'll still be here. Okay. I can't see right now, so I don't know what I'm talking to.
Okay.
All right. Well. All right. So I'll see you guys in a bit. If not, then peace out, guys.
Thank you, guys. Right. Thank you so much for joining us. That is PMR. Oh, I'm sorry. PMR Bones 88, guys. So up to their channel. They're awesome people. They're great people. So thank you guys for joining us, and I will see y'all later, okay?
All right.
All right.
See you guys.
Bye. Bye. So sorry about that. I kind of lost track. I lost my anyways, yeah. So you had we had the homage to, I thought it was Peeping Tom, but it could have been it could have been something else. I just thought about that, but then again, I had just watched Peeping Tom before I seen that, so maybe there might be other horror aspects that that took from that, so it necessarily wasn't probably an homage. You know?
Well, I mean, it could have been. I would have to see the movie again because I was actually into it and wasn't overanalyzing everything except for Bailey. Poor soul. So, yeah, I won't get into Bailey. So we can move on.
Yeah, I know. I totally get that. Well, guys, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and, if you don't mind, dive in. Who is curious about my whole spiel?
Not me. I already know.
Your conspiracy theory?
Oh, sure. Why not?
Well, because OCD has already heard it.
I'm excited to hear it. Let's hear it.
OCD's already heard it. We talked to death about it. But guys, this is how I see the film. I see the film as not a sequel, but in the same universe. And I'm going to tell you, I solely believe that the killers were not the same killers from the first one. I believe they were copycats. And I think I could have made the film better than it was. And I'll tell you why. Because in the beginning of the film...
First I want to know why you think they're not the same killers.
I'm going to get there. That's why I'm kind of... Okay. So I think they're different killers. Okay. Because let me first go on how I can make the film better. Okay. I think I can make the film better because the fact that I believe they're different killers. This has already been said that they are not. It's already been proven that they're not. Okay. They said, I've read a lot of stuff. They said, hey, these are not different killers. These are the same killers. But I believe the reason why they're different killers is because of the killings are not on the same par as, like I said in the beginning. Oh, Matt, you weren't here for this one. So let me go ahead and say that. The killings were two different spectrums. And a lot of people said they're different directors, they're different movies. But the thing about serial killers is they do not change their dynamic between situations. They're going to have the same killing kind of, I guess, pattern. And in the first film, they
totally disagree.
Okay, well then let me finish.
I disagree with that too.
More. Anyways, so they go and they get into the situation in the first one where they're toying with the people and they're killing the people. The second one, it felt more of just, they wanted to kill them. Because in the first film, they wanted people to find them. And it felt like there wasn't as much skill and there wasn't as much pronounced kind of, because there's grown people in the first one who couldn't, they were so smart in their actions to where these people could not survive, not because they were stronger than them or nothing, just because they were so skilled in getting out and making the situation happen. Versus the second one, you know, 2 teenagers kill them because the killers make stupid mistakes. Okay, so that's one thing. But the way I wish the film would have went, honestly, is the beginning of the film, you see Bailey Madison's character, and they talk about she's going away to school because she's been bad. She hasn't, you know, been doing school. And there's a beginning scene where they're sitting by the car and they're smoking, and she says, well, so-and-so and so-and-so aren't getting sent to boarding school, so why am I? She goes, because I care about you. Okay? I believed it would have been a better film is because the killings were so different and everything was so, like, out of the way and organized. I thought the ending was going to be her friends killing her family in a copycat of The Strangers.
Tons of people thought that.
And that's what I thought would have been a better film, honestly. Because they were very pronounced in the story of saying that, like, why aren't they going? And it would have been a different dynamic between the character of the brother and her. And it would have made sense why he survived. It would have made perfect sense because she loved her brother. So when he was killing him in the pool, all of a sudden she shows up to save him, and the killer just leaves. That makes perfect sense. So
I thought that was just a convenience, personally, but you know.
Yeah, because she was under a. But anyways, that was my opinion. You know, you get on my opinion all you want, but I believe that they're different killers. So I believe to do a sequel, it would be a better situation if there was a group of people, and maybe the killers in the second one weren't as pronounced as the killers in the first one.
Like maybe they were initiates.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a bigger spectrum.
That could be cool. That could be a really cool concept, like way to go with it. Yeah.
And if they do a sequel, they have to, like, the first one had a 70s feel, the second one had an 80s feel, the third one should have a 90s feel.
I knew you were going to say that.
Do an X-Men style, yeah.
OCD, what's your opinion, hon? What did you think about what I just said?
This
This is the third time you heard me say
not you. It's not you. It's the chat. It's the chat.
Oh, God, what's being said? Jesus.
Nothing. Just talking about the red nips in the background.
Oh, Betty Page's nipples?
Yeah. So now it's on the other side.
Other side, Amanda. Other side.
Oh, yeah, my stars. Those are stars.
Yeah.
Stars are projectors. Yeah.
This is my stars. This is my Betty Page stars.
That's what I was laughing at. I had to mute.
I guess my conversation. Hold on, let me make big. I guess that what I have to say isn't as great because people are watching like my nipples. My
very distracting.
Trust me, Amanda. No,
I got a dick pic hanging on my wall behind y'all. So.
Wow.
There's
true.
No dicks. Oh,
I hope it's at least nice looking.
It's an art.
Well kept, like, you know.
It's an art piece. It's an art
chiseled
piece.
and shaved, and it's not cold. It's not cold.
Back to the 70s, the 70s, 80s, and 90s feel. If they make a fourth one, they shouldn't, because I don't want to see the 2000s feel.
We're still on the third one.
Gotcha.
Oh, the fourth one, 2000.
Yeah,
We have ourselves a little bit.
Throw on some Kristen Bell pixie cuts. I'm down.
Yeah, but then you have a whole bunch of douchebags trying to support the Strangers.
Well, and then when they make The Strangers 5, we'll have what the hell is her name? Emma. God, the chick. It's not Emma. It's not Emma Watson. Not
Emma Bell.
Emma Stone.
No, not Emma Stone. The one who was in Scream 4.
Roberts?
Chase.
Roberts.
Yes,
Oh,
Emma Roberts.
There's only
That
like
bitch is-
3 Emmas in the world.
That bitch is nuts, though. Like, throw her in there as the one getting chased by the strangers and tries to fight back. I guess that would be a similar dynamic, but
if they have a third movie, do you think they should have different masks?
No, it's
No.
iconic. It's like the
Okay.
Jason mask at this
Keep
point.
the
so.
same
Because-
mask.
Honestly, I think that the story, although I don't think it would make an interesting franchise
I do.
unless
Kill more slashers.
no,
More slasher
it'd be
sequels.
an interesting
Please.
franchise if they do like different scenarios, kind of like what they had to with the first and the second one. I didn't like the second one for being different, but at the same time, if they kind of go through what I think they're going to go to, then I'd appreciate it more. I just don't want it to be the same killers
Yeah.
doing the same thing.
But, I mean, since we're kind of doing overall thoughts at this point, I'm going to actually echo something that our buddy Drum Dums, Lee, said. You know, he loved this movie way more than I have seen anybody love this movie. But to be fair, to echo even what Chase just said, we don't get to see slasher movies in theaters anymore. We just don't. It does not happen, period. That time has kind of passed. Unfortunately, that ship has sailed. And I didn't like your theory as much, Amanda, because of the fact that for me, killers, if it's 10 years later, if a serial killer has been doing what they've been doing for a long time, they're probably, they start out really, really cautious, right? And then over time, and they get away with it more and more, they slowly get sloppier, they get more audacious, they get more bloodthirsty.
You're talking about 3.
No, I'm talking about 2 and the behavior they exuded. They were more bloodthirsty. They were sloppier. They were just going for the kill. They weren't as careful about things. They were less hesitant and toying with their victims as opposed to just wanting to kill them, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how serial killers get caught. I mean, they get caught because they become sloppier over
But
time.
to correct both of you,
You can't go
they
to
were not
Jodie
serial
Foster to Jenna Jameson in the fucking 10 years. I'm sorry,
But just to correct you both, they were not serial killers. They are spree killers.
That is, well,
no,
clear from one.
no.
Do we know, though? Do we know how many they've killed in those 10 years?
But serial killing means there's that one, you have that one type that and it's sort of a sexual fetish. That's serial killing. Spree killing is a group of people at one time. Look it up.
Serial killers doesn't have to be sexual. They have an arousal for it, but
It's some sort of it's some sort of fetish
exactly
that they're
but it
doing.
doesn't have to be sexual.
And it never, whatever it is though, it never varies. And spree killers don't have a particular type. They do groups of people at a time. There are certain defining factors between.
But that's what I'm getting at. The first film, if you guys remember the beginning, they talked about repeat kills that have happened within the same period in the same style.
Yeah, but that was still 10 years ago.
And that's where I'm getting at. The point is you can't sit there and establish a kind of serial killer aspect of a story and then go into the second one and then be like, well, we're just going to do whatever fucking we want.
Well, maybe terms aside, but people, if they kill, if they're going out and murdering people over a long period of time and they're getting away with it for a long period of time, you would probably think that they're getting slightly sloppy.
I'm gonna insert an opinion.
I agree with that.
When you
I'm sorry, OCD.
That's fine. I would treat this the same way everyone is treating The Last Jedi, and that yes, this is what's happening right now, but let's wait for the next movie and find out who Rey's parents actually are. Let's just wait for the next one to see how they bring them back, to see if these were even the same killers from the first one.
Yeah.
So that means we bring back Brian Bertino, who directed the first one, just like we did with JJ, and then we're like, who were they actually?
I don't know. What is he doing?
Liv Tyler survived.
What is Brian Bertino even doing?
Well, he just did The Monster.
Yes.
The Monster was amazing.
Like a year or two ago.
It was a year and a half ago.
Well, that's what I was saying, Matt, with all the little hints and the subtleties in the movie that happened, just kind of hinted at the fact they weren't the same people. And hinted at that, like, in so many scenes. With, like, the living room and seeing, you kind of saw
that idea.
You what?
I could.
So I'm open to that idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that. I can see it for your next. Like, there's an organization of people who they hire to kill people. But with the strangers, it's more like, I feel like people change, even killers. After 10 years, like Flaco said, they will become more reckless and sloppy. And because they know they can get away with it by now, and eventually they could get caught. Well, no, they're dead. Never mind.
Coming of age story. And,
I want to hear what Chase says. Chase, I want to go ahead and hear your overall view, and I'm gonna go see what this ticking noise in my living room is. But tell us your overall view.
Okay, on what? On life? I'm kind of pessimistic, but an optimist in a lot of ways.
So that means you're a realist, sir, because that's the way I look at life too.
I guess. Whatever.
Hope for the best, plan for the worst.
I don't know. It was a fun movie, and we have Brian Bertino, by the way, has nothing lined up at the moment. So
I was just looking at his IMDb too.
Yeah, 2016 was the monster, so he could.
It did come out
if he
that
felt
fall.
like it. Yeah, it came out late, but the fact is he made it earlier. So he could be lining up.
Do you think Johannes Roberts should make a Strangers 3? Sorry. The director of The Strangers 2.
Well, he's got 48 meters down to work on.
The year after.
Ryan's got nothing. He can come back.
I feel that he would just remake, do the same thing as the first one and not really up anything.
I don't know. We'll have to see 48 meters down. That's going to be his first sequel. So
no. I mean Brian Boateng. I think that he would do the same thing as the first one, the same execution, because like the monster was still like a more how would you say it? More simple story.
Well, simple, but so effective in the performances. And I mean, that whole film was about. It wasn't even the monster that was terrorizing them. It was the monster inside the mother. That was the real monster. And
yeah, there is more layers.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that was a good movie. I like how the girl became a badass by the end. That was pretty cool too.
Oh yeah, she was awesome. She follows me on Twitter. She's cool. Has anyone seen Mockingbird, Bertino's second film?
I have not.
Yeah, me neither. I was just looking at his IMDb, and I have not heard about that particular one. So
sorry, guys. I thought that dog was back. Because I heard taking.
So you didn't keep the dog?
If he was,
no, the owners came forward. So
if he was, you should have been like, "Hey, stranger."
I was pretty worried for a minute there. I was like, "This is taking out my door. Let me go check it out, guys. I'll be right back."
That was
stupid.
Hey,
here, hold my beer.
What's that noise? I better go investigate.
Yeah, the brother did that in this movie like twice, didn't he?
Yeah. And I was like, all right, guys, I'll be right back. Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
And here's another cliche. It's not like it's a horror movie. This is real life.
Yeah, this is real life, man.
Yeah.
I wish Matt fucking Lillard acted more, man. Seriously, Lillard was great.
Yes, but you know what he does act in? He kills, so it doesn't matter to me.
He's in Good Girls, the TV show.
Is he?
Yeah. With Christina Hendricks.
I've never seen it.
It just started. It's a new show. It's kind of like Weeds, if you ever saw Weeds.
I watched Weeds until, I loved Weeds until they started doing the Mexican cartel and they moved to New York and all that.
This would be earlier Weeds. Matthew Lillard, Christina Hendricks, Mae Whitman, and Retta from Parks and Rec and stuff.
That actually sounds awesome. Yeah.
So should we do our overall ratings or thoughts, or?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at with OC, starting with that. So, OC, you said your overall. Brian, you go ahead and say how you felt. Your overall rating.
For this,
Yeah.
out of 10.
Well, just like how your overall thought. You don't even have to rate it. Just like your
You
overall
said
thought.
rating. That's what a rating is.
What
Rating is like for your channel, how you rate things. What
I
was your,
don't rate things. I tell you this
have you
multiple.
watched his channel?
I do. Damn it. Okay, I'm just saying. How would you? What did you think, Chase?
What do you think? Did you like it?
I thought it was a really fun movie. It was a whole lot of fun. I took my mom to see it. It was really funny. She went to the ticket counter and because I have Movie Pass, so it's like here.
Me too.
Movie Pass.
Yeah.
I was like Movie Pass. Take my card, pay for yours, and I'll use my Movie Pass. And then she went to the ticket counter and said, "Can I get Stranger Things 2?" Yeah, it was horrible, and I told her never again, never again.
Yeah, I took my mom to see it too.
It scared her. It gave her. She fell for all the stupid jump scares and stuff, and she had a good time. I had a good time watching it. It was a fun movie. The people in the theater laughed and cheered at the appropriate places. So, yeah, good movie, fun.
Big. I'll get to my overall.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10 if I was to rate it on a scale out of 10. 7, 10. It's
Good
just
deal.
fun.
All right, good deal. Brian, it's your turn, honey. What did you think?
First off, I was surprised that there wasn't that many jump scares compared to other films. But the crowd I was with was hilarious. There's just one guy behind me. He was like, "Oh Jesus, oh Jesus, oh no, oh Jesus." And so, while I was trying to focus on the film, what I got from it was that I enjoyed it more than the first. I liked more things about it than I liked the first movie, and I would definitely watch it again over the first movie. So, but if the characters could have, actors and actresses could have acted a little bit more, and the motivations besides the daughter losing almost everyone, they could have been stronger. Like there could have been more of a performance showing that she was struggling with not coping, but dealing with dealing with the situation. But I'd have to give it a 3.5 out of 5. Pretty much the same as Chase with a 7 out of 10, just out of 5 instead.
So how many stars? Do you know what to know? Say your stars again, hun. How many stars?
5.
5 stars. Okay.
No, I got 3.5. I get 3.5 though out of 5.
Why are you guys laughing? I'm having a lag right now, so that's why I'm asking. Because I'm getting a lag, but anyway. All
How
right.
many stars are you seeing?
I'm getting a lot of lag right now, so that's what it's because I keep jumping between windows, and that's what my computer does sometimes when I'm jumping. So that's why I missed it because I jumped to another window.
Do you know if you start this and don't click on anyone's window, it'll do it for you?
Well, no, because I didn't do it earlier, and it just stayed on me, and it looked like I was so into myself. That's why I didn't do it, because it was just set on me. All right, Fuego, your overall.
Yeah, overall for me, I have a new rating system. So on Infuegotainment, I used to go feo, malo, bueno, like good, bad, and ugly. But I actually have it upgraded, so it's going to go feo, ugly, 1 star, malo, bad, 2 star, bueno, 3 stars. Fuego is going to be 4 stars, but in Fuego, that shit's on fire. It's awesome. That's a 5 star. I'm just explaining the rating system, for God's sake. This was bueno. This was good. It's only 3 for me. But it was a significant improvement on the first one. I didn't have significant scenes in that first film that stuck with me, and I think the music definitely had something to do with that, specifically the music and some of the manner in which it was shot. So that is one thing I'll say about The Monster, is that I wasn't as compelled by the way it was shot, or even as much the look of the creature. It was the interaction of the characters more so. This was a much better looking movie to me. That's one thing I can at least give Johannes Roberts credit for is he makes good-looking movies, like I said earlier. So
I feel that same way. All right, Matt, it's your turn, hon. What is your opinion on the film?
It was a fun ride. The music was great. I thought it was stunning, and I did like the change up from the way the first film was. But I agree with Chase. I'm going to go with the 7 out of 10. It would get higher if it was a little more like, I don't know, cohesive with the first, I guess. It was great. It was great. So.
All right, good deal. Well, I guess I'm the 1% because I'm going to get a 5 out of 10.
Exactly what I'd give the first one.
Yeah.
5 out of 10 for me. I guess I would like it more if they establish the fact that they're different killers. I'm very, like I said, I explained it before, I'm very particular on, because that's what I loved about the first film. I love the style, and I love the lack, and I know that I love the music in this one, but I love the lack of music in the first one. And that's what drew me into it, because the scariest scenes had nothing playing. Like, for example, you know, the knock at the door, and then all of a sudden she's standing there in the living room. There's nothing playing, and you just see him standing there watching her. No music playing.
Yeah.
And I don't remember it.
There's some music. There's some.
Oh, see, I think you need to rewatch it, because I think if you rewatch it, you appreciate it more.
I think Fuego actually brought up the really good point of the music and making, because we're going to associate things with music, and if it's going to be an extremely familiar song, we're more likely to remember it versus not having music, or more monotonal, just that crime show procedural type music that you would hear.
Well, that, like I said, that scene with the no music was just as pronounced as the music.
I remember the scene of the dude standing in the back and her.
Yeah,
but I don't remember anything else. I remember them looking out the window. That's it.
Yeah, there's a reason why I got this film and Vacancy confused so much, the original Strangers in Vacancy, because
I remember Vacancy more.
Way better, right? Yeah, but I mean, they're drastically different in plots and stuff, but I was just like, yeah, I saw them about the same time, and the couple, and I don't know.
Well, what I'm trying to say
never stuck out for me.
Okay, so my overall view, like I was saying,
go ahead.
Is basically when I felt I would appreciate a lot more if it came out and was like, you know, hey, these are different killers and stuff. But I am going to say it's 5 out of 10, because I'm a huge fan of the first one, and I lost my train of thought. So anyway, so yeah, that's basically where I'm getting at. So that's my overall view. So. Anyways, is there any other comments before we
I got one.
All right.
So I think the film would have either worked better or worse, depending on execution, if the trailer park was full of people.
See, I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of wanted that when I saw the trailers. I was like, oh, a trailer park full of people and these 3 strangers.
Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking was, especially with the first trailer, I thought, because they didn't say, hey, this place is empty. So I thought, oh my gosh, a trailer park. What a great way to really step it up and turn it way up. And
the second trailer comes out, and they're like, oh, I think that everyone leaves after the Labor Day weekend.
Yeah,
like,
which is very unrealistic, but
I'm sorry, I don't know where trailer park you live at, but my trailer park, if 3 fucking psycho people came in our trailer park, they would have no way in hell to make it. I'm just saying.
I
This
mean,
is more like a vacation trailer.
Yeah, it's like
I'm sorry.
like a vacation park.
You get next door, you get a Priscilla down the street. I'm sorry, but if some crazy white people came up to this neighborhood and tried
Queen of the Desert down the street.
Yeah,
That's
you
why-
know.
that's-
I can just see Juanita going, these 3 masked white people came up here to get my Diet Coke out of the vending machine. They asked me if Tamara was there, and I told her my cousin was not here. And then she goes knocks on Daryl's door. She goes, is Tamara here? He goes, yeah, actually, she's on the computer right now. And she goes, oh, I thought you
I'm
were
here to kill you.
because we have a Tamara that lives in this trailer park, so that would just be really funny if like she came knocking on the door. Is Tamara is here? Yeah, she's on the computer right now. What do you want to say to her? Oh well, I
Yeah,
appreciate.
come on in.
See, Amanda
Nice
would have
mask.
actually liked it. You personally would have liked it more if there was more people there, because then they could have met your needs of them doing the stealth kills and being all sneaky about everything, and then we could have had the family be the final people and then have the crazy mayhem crap. So,
You know, that's right. That is very true. That's a good point. That is a very good point.
and if
There's
the
only-
entire film was set in it, then we could have had more character development. It would have explained a bit more about just
Yeah, and
Them?
I would honestly accuse that as far as budgetary convenience and limitations and stuff like that, less extras, less money to spend on more kills, things like that. I mean, it's often just out of necessity when you make a film where there's nobody else there at this
agreed.
in place. So
It would have been cool.
And plus, with the whole organization type of Stranger Things, who said there has to be 3 strangers? There could have been a whole bunch of them going after people.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I was getting at with the stream. Is I think there were more.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was basing it off of your theory.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say that I want to see a Stranger Things, The Strangers crossover where we see the people who became the Strangers killers as kids when they first get the fucking masks and they want to start harming people, and they were like the type who had magnifying glasses and burn like the little bugs and stuff, and then they try to go after 11 and fucking... No, I'm just kidding. Anyway.
No.
I tried.
Well, that was...
Is
that
Tamara here? No. Mouth breathers.
No, I would love to see a fucking spoof of this. And not call it The Strangers, but...
Stranger Danger.
Stranger Danger.
Not called The Strangers, it's called The Neighbors. And what it is, you go up to the door. I just thought about this on top of my head. Somebody comes knocking your door, like, you open the door, and they're like, hey, you cooking something? No, I'm not cooking. I smelled it from across the street.
Yeah.
Come in and eat. No, we don't. And slam the door on them, and then go about to eat your dinner, and then they come up in the window, and be like, but you're home.
I'm sure it'll be in Medea's booth 3.
You what?
The Strangers
sure
Three,
it'll be
People
in-
Zero.
Medea's booth 3.
Yeah, probably.
Parody.
Well, not The Strangers, but The Neighbors.
No.
And then
I
they
can't-
come knock on the door again and be like, y'all being kind of loud. Like, that would be perfect. I love that. What were you saying, Fuego, honey?
I can't stop thinking about this now, though. For season 3, it's like there's 3 new kids that come to school at Hawkins, and on Halloween, they're like sitting there in the classroom and they're wearing the masks, and they're just
That would
like,
be funny.
what?
I would actually
That'd
not.
be awesome.
Mm.
I would make me happy, actually, if that would happen in season 3.
I usually hate that kind of stuff, but I wouldn't mind that. That would be funny.
That would be.
But,
Thank you.
All right, guys, I gotta get going.
Yeah, we are past our allotment, I'd imagine. So,
Awesome. So much
I'll talk to you guys later, though.
fun, honey. I appreciate it.
Night,
later,
Brian.
Brian.
Night.
Hey, Ryan. All right,
Good
guys.
seeing you, man.
All right. Well, I guess I don't know what else to do right now because we are at the hour mark right now. I actually have another hangout that I'm planning on, but that being said, unfortunately, the thing that I planned on later tonight has kind of gone astray, unfortunately. So I guess we'll go ahead and just end it to this point. Thank you so much for staying with us tonight and talking about this. Okay. Everyone said it's fantastic. I think it's okay. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get to the point. We have Hameen Fuego from the horror show.
Yes, and Chase, that was the movie that I was referring to.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'll look it up.
Yeah, it's good.
And then we have my very own Maddie McCobb from Channel Sundown, my co-host.
Hey guys, sorry I've been so quiet. It's been a long day.
No, I understand, honey. I do. And then we have our friend OCD Horror.
I'm still human.
Yes. So, guys, we have all the links below of all what we got going on and everything. All the links to all the channels and everything. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to my second live stream. Let me go ahead and before we get off here, check out some of the comments that we have. Just being that I just want to go ahead and so we see oh, they're kind of having their own comments going on right now. But anyways, yeah, so it's been fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for a second time today. Earlier today, I did a interview with my very own PJ Woodside and Steve Hudgens at Big Productions. They're good friends of mine. They have directed many awesome films on YouTube. Not YouTube, I'm sorry. On Amazon Prime. You guys can tell I have not slept. But on Amazon Prime, they've done things like Goat Sucker, which appeared it was yours truly's first horror film that she was in.
Film debut.
You what? What'd you say, Matt?
I said film debut.
He said film debut.
It was your film debut.
Yes, it was my film debut. Yes, and so anyways, they're great people. Check them out. Big Patty Productions. They have Goat Sucker, Hell is Full, The Creepy Doll, Maniac. Well, no, Maniac on the Loose, I don't believe is on there, but y'all check them out. They're on there. If you want to go, the link below. I have a interview that I did earlier with them, and it's so weird how full circle everything's become because if you guys know that they've worked with a lot of actors in the horror community, and there was a few times I was at Comic-Cons and I met these actors, and you'll see it in the interview you guys watch. And I would go out to these actors. I'm like, yeah, I know Steve. And they're just like, we love Steve. And so anyways, yeah. So guys, if you get a chance, check them out. I have the link in the video below. Check them out. Big Body Pit Productions. And also check out these other channels we have going on. We have PMR Bones 88. And then we have, of course, The Horror Show. And then we have OCD Horror. So guys, don't forget.
Well, Gory popped in just to say hi. So the horror addicts are here for just the end of it.
Oh,
no.
Gory be awesome.
Gory.
But yeah, just guys, don't forget that you have a great dynamic full of people, and just because we all have different opinions doesn't mean that somebody's stupid or somebody's worse and stuff. That's what makes this community so great, is the fact that we all can have different opinions, and that's what makes this community great. So that being said, remember to love each other. Thank y'all for tuning in. And like Maddie always says,
keep it creepy.
Woo!
Put a little love in your heart.
Yes. Love in your heart. All right,
Peace
guys.
out.
Yeah, peace out. Thank you, guys.
Peace out.
Right.
Hasta luego.
They're humans.
Hasta
Yes.
luego.
Does not compute. Does not compute.